Breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson dancing to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
On first down, Singletary. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now this throw caught left side, and he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's going to fire one deep over. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now, this is a crew that come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really haven't. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a first down. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Lorenzo Alexander brings him down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the Bills' 45.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Hey, Trinity! We got 25 to Mike. They can't hang with us.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this one is right down the middle. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Jackson now, over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
At the 24-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. This is McCoy. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Box drop. 40's mark, 40's the mark. Look out.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Working the middle here. That's complete to Knox, the tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Ground 80. Record. Hey, tight. At 25 the mark. Hey, echo.
Allen now on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And that's McCoy, who is still down following the play. Appears shaken up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Mike 50. Watch the run. Yeah, it's free.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Come on now, let's go.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
First down, Baltimore.
On first down, it's Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You got nothing.
Jackson. Being chased out left. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson flush to his right. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 45-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Let's go.
Ingram again.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Win championship, baby. 50, Mike's 50. 3 bucks.
From the gun, Jackson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. From the gun, it's Allen. Out to the left, he's got his tight end, Knox. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
It's a gain of 11.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Judon in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
On 2nd and a long way to go. Allen into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 35-yard line.
Switch up. Watch tight end. Go.
Jackson from the shotgun. Steps away to his left. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. On 3rd down, Jackson got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews.
Let's go.
That'll go as a pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Ed Oliver able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ed Oliver in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland, and it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 2nd and 12, Allen. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefit.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Allen now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Forced out to his left. Caught on the slant. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. A well-executed safety blitz by Tony Jefferson leads to the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 36 yards out. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They'll run on 1st down. Ingram. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Dixon, and he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he'll be close to a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 30. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. It's a gain of 4 there and gives him a new set of downs. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. To throw, it's Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Alert!
Hey, Team 6. Team 6.
We got 25 to Mike. Hey, pick your game up.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And
he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas, and he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Ravens, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Bye.